Hi everybody, welcome to ABC Gluten Free. We're so glad you're joining us today. For those of you on Periscope, welcome to ABC Gluten Free, and those of you on live stream, I'm your host Dana. This is my wonderful helper Sophia, and Jeremiah is coming on just in a second. There he is. And today we just want to welcome Walkers to the Gluten Free family because we're doing a dedicated show today for Walkers, and we're going to be making some amazing treats from sweet to savory, all with the Walkers brand shortbread cookies and with their 3 different kinds. So we're very excited to get started. And you guys ready to go?
Yeah!
Yeah, and you're going to tell them they're going to BYON, right? We hope you guys BYON, right? Bring your own napkin because we're going to get started. You're going to be drooling and you want to get a pen and paper to write down the recipes because we're going to first start with the amazing cheesecake. All right, you ready to go? So today for our cheesecake, hi guys, welcome to Periscope, thanks for joining. We're doing a Walkers dedicated show today, so we won't be answering too many questions on Periscope, but we would love for you to go to our Facebook page and just ask us all the questions you want there, and we'd be absolutely delighted to help you with that. I'm your host Dana, this is Sophia and Jeremiah, and we're going to get started right away because we're making a delicious cheesecake today. Nope, not yet. Jeremiah, grab the sugar, please. Alright, so for the cheesecake, we're using ricotta cheese and we're using mascarpone. Yep, we're going to use this. We're going to open up the ricotta cheese. Now we're using whole milk ricotta cheese. Normally we get our ricotta cheese from Italy at Wegmans, and they have, fabulous stuff there, but we couldn't get it this week. So we're using our ricotta cheese and our mascarpone. Jeremiah, could you get me the big sugar? Sophia would get a little knife. Get a little knife and open this. Please open this. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use 1 whole container of ricotta cheese and 1 whole container of mascarpone. Now, there are very different variations that we've already done with the cheesecake. We used a coconut cream, we used a goat milk, goat cheese, ricotta cheese, which was totally amazing. And we did one with just coconut cream and a little bit of goat milk, so that was like kind of a better dairy for you. But today we're making it a little bit different. So what I'm going to have Jeremiah do is he's going to start buttering the pans. Because basically for a cheesecake you can really use whatever you want. So we've kind of picked a couple different vessels to show you. Grab the cheesecake pans over there, please. Alright, so it's totally up to you what your preference is. We have this small springform cheesecake pans. We also have, if you want to do smaller individuals, we have our silicone here. They kind of pop right out of them, and we're going to show you this version, and we're also going to show you this version. Now, what I wanted to show you is, can you give me the other one too? Put both of those in there. What I also wanted to show you was that you can actually use a regular cheesecake pan, and we have the paper version. So this is the paper one. Welcome Home Brands makes this. And this is really cool because you just kind of tear it off and serve it. And it's very easy and disposable, and you don't have to worry about getting your stuff back. We actually have one ready we're going to show you later. But you can also use a regular springform, larger size pan, 8-inch, 7-inch, 9-inch, whatever you're comfortable with. Don't do that, please. Alright, so Sophia's just putting into the bowl the mascarpone. Jeremiah, you can get rid of these containers for us, please. The mascarpone and the ricotta cheese. Now this is my version of a cheesecake because I like the ricotta cheesecake and the cream cheese cheesecake. So you can substitute that for just cream cheese if you want and make a cream cheese cheesecake. Or you can just use the ricotta and make a ricotta cheesecake, which is a little bit lighter and fluffier. Today we're using just the egg yolks. You can use a whole egg, 2 whole eggs would be for this recipe, or you can use 2 whole egg yolks. It really comes out delicious and you wouldn't know the difference. And being that we have no egg whites, we're going to keep those egg whites out. But for you guys at home, you can substitute cream cheese, you can use just regular eggs, and Jeremiah can separate those eggs for Sophia, and then she'll get mixing on them. All we have here is really simple ingredients. We have raw sugar, we have eggs, we have ricotta cheese, and we also have our delicious Walkers crumbs here that we have ready to go in our beautiful little Limoges bowl. And then we also have, yeah, I said that already. And we also have a little lemon zest, and we have our fresh cranberry. We're going to be delving into the little cranberry business here because in New Jersey, cranberries are huge. We're the largest provider for ocean spray, and since the National Cranberry Holiday is coming up, we're going to just get you started right. So this is a great recipe for you to use for the holidays coming up. And Jeremiah's going to separate the eggs. Sophia, you're okay. Just get rid of it. There you go. And you're going to start mixing it up, okay? No, not yet. You start mixing that up. So what we're going to do is just have Sophie kind of incorporate the ricotta cheese and the mascarpone. Now if you have a food processor, just throw it in there, put it in 1, 2, 3, and you're done. And then you can add the egg yolks one at a time, 1, 2, 3, done. And then we're just going to add a little bit of vanilla extract. So I would say to you a teaspoon of vanilla extract would be perfect. Alright, so what we're going to do is get our containers ready to bake in. And I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about the water bath. There's a couple different theories on that. The water bath sometimes keeps it from cracking on the top and getting brown and a skin on it. And that's an option that you can go with if you like. The water bath also cooks it evenly from inside out and doesn't even cook. So you can go with that theory. It's totally up to you. I just go with what I feel like doing on that day, so it all really depends. Jeremiah's going to open for us a box of the ginger lemon shortbread cookies. Jeremiah, can you open that up, showing everybody the container? Now, just to go a little bit on the Walkers cake, because obviously we're doing our show for Walkers today, and we fell in love with the company and their mission and what happened, way back when Mr. Walker decided to make shortbread in Scotland. It's just pretty incredible that it's still a family-owned business. Their commitment to the gluten-free community by testing every single batch, and I love that they have all the little teeth over here. You see there's, if you turn it this way, it looks like little teeth, a little smile. And it just shares with you that it's certified, it's non-GMO, no artificial colors, flavors, ingredients, and no hydrogenated fats. And on their website, you can read all about it and their dedication to gluten-free and being under 20 parts per million, which is what we all want, right? And it just has very simple ingredients: butter, sugar, chocolate chips. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing like we don't know what's in there, we can't even understand it or read it. And they have a chocolate chip version, which is wonderful. All right, so for our cheesecake, for this cheesecake, we're actually going to press the crumbs into the bottom. Right, Sophia? You don't have to do that. Just leave it alone, okay? We're going to press the crumbs into the bottom. So what I'm going to do is put about 1/4 to half a cup of crumbs in the bottom. And I like a lot of crust because it's kind of like the best part. And you want it to go in my ear. Go put it away. All right, and we have the containers that Sophia did. She did a great job getting those ready. All right, and I'm just going to spread this evenly on the bottom. So the cookie's covered. Come on, guys, you need help?
I'm coming.
All right, so we have the cookie cover here. And then I'm going to take the plain, Jeremiah, grab me another spoon, please. I'm going to take the plain cheesecake and I'm going to start to layer that here. So I'm going to do 1 scoop on top. So it's about a tablespoon on top of all of them. And then the rest we're going to save for our cheesecake that we're going to put here. So let's just spread that around. Now on this one I'm going to do a water bath just because I like the way it comes out better. I like brown skin on the top of the cheesecake, but you can always do that later if you want. You can flame it, or you can put it under your broiler just for a few seconds. But I'm going to keep it soft today. Alright, so what Jeremiah's going to do is he's going to take this, put it in the oven, and put some water in it just to cover it halfway here. And we're going to bake that in the oven at 350 for about 35 to 45 minutes. Go ahead, Jeremiah, take that away. Now we're going to do the second one. Mommy's going to do this, okay? Mommy's going to help you, okay? So we're going to take the cranberry and fill it in here. We have our cranberry cheesecake going in first. Let me move the top over. And that's really simple. It's just cranberry compote. You can actually buy that in the store if you're not able to make it. No, I think we'll just do this one. I'm going to spread that on the bottom a little bit. When you're spreading the cheesecake, you always want to go from the middle out so you don't bring the crumbs back. And you want to just kind of go around in a circle. Try not to go back over what you already did, like I just did right now. And then just put the rest, the plain cheesecake on top. Go ahead, Sophia. Don't tap though, okay? And she's just going to kind of fill those up. And then we're going to get started on our second thing because these have to go in the oven. These actually have to bake for almost an hour. So thankfully we have them prepared and ready for you that we're going to show you later, not now, so we hope you BYON. Make sure you brought your own napkin because you're definitely going to be drooling over our Walker's cheesecake. We have a little cranberry layer inside. It's going to be so delicious. So let's get cleaning up because we need to get started on part 2. We're making a full meal for you today on ABC Gluten Free, so we're so thankful that you joined us. And we're definitely inspired by all of the recipes that were coming to our head every night this week, and we just couldn't stop thinking and creating. So we have 3 recipes for you today. All right, you ready to go, Sophia? Are you going to continue to do that, right? Jeremiah, you can take this away. All right, so our next recipe we're going to be doing is our version of shepherd's pie. Now I know we're not from Scotland or Ireland or England. I only married an Irishman. And I know that shepherd's pie is a huge meal in their family. And we're creating it, and we're going to use some of those Walkers Shortbread cookies, and we're going to show you how to do that. Jeremiah, going to give me the West Bend. Okay, just go closer, right? So you don't have to keep this in here. And go closer to where you're actually going to be working, okay? Now you have to go that way because Mommy needs the spot here, okay? All right, we got to fight for space on the counter. It's a battle. She's doing the cheesecakes. Jeremiah's going to get those in the oven. I'm going to take the West Bend from him. He's got a plug for me. You can take the top. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get cooking because we're going to cook all of our meat and our ingredients for our shepherd's pie. So what I'm going to do is just put it on 350. Fill it up, honey. You have to fill them up all the way.
Oh,
they have to be filled
so
all
they
the
can
way.
go over the crust?
Yeah, and you got to get this part, and then you can't leave that. You got to fill them up all the way. All right, so we want our cheesecakes to be full. We don't want them filled to the top because we're not making a huge cheesecake. We're just doing a little bit. So I'm going to get started on the meat. The meat is actually going to be lamb. No, today we're using veal. And you can use whatever you want for shepherd's pie. Beef, veal, chicken, turkey, bison, lamb. It's totally up to you, but today what we're using is veal. So I'm going to show you that. Jeremiah, can you get the mushrooms out, please? All right, so I have about 1.5 pounds of the veal, and I'm going to start cooking that. Yeah, I keep saying beef, but I don't know why because we don't ever eat that. I also have 1 onion that I diced because I don't want to do that on camera and cry for you. You don't need to see that. And then we have some mushrooms. We're going to use about 6 mushrooms. So I'm just going to take them. All right. I'm going to just take the mushrooms off, and Jeremiah can put this away. These are beautiful mushrooms. Go ahead and put those away. Look at how gorgeous those Bella mushrooms are. And then we have just that 1 diced onion here. All right. So Sophia's getting the cheesecakes ready. She's doing a great job. We already have 1 little batch in at 350, right? For quite a long time. So we're hoping you get to see something. If not, thankfully we have it prepared for you. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just start cooking the meat. And I just, in my research on Walkers, I just was so surprised that they're over in Scotland. And Jeremiah was looking it up. They're in Aberlour. I'm probably not saying it properly, but my husband's family is from Ireland, and I can remember it's 20 years now or more that whenever we would go to their house for a cup of tea, they'd have the tartan tin on the table, and everybody got to take a shortbread cookie. And it was very funny because you don't have tea without the cookies. And I guess being from Ireland, it's really a staple in their family. So when we had shared with them we're going to be doing a Walkers broadcast, they were very excited. But they're also drooling because they wanted the product. So we hope to get them something delicious today, hopefully. So we have our meat that we're cooking. We actually have some really beautiful, beautiful spices. Hi guys, welcome to Periscope. Thanks for joining. So we have some beautiful veal that we're cooking here. Jeremiah, can you get us our spices in the back? Sophie, you're doing such a good job, honey. Now what we're going to do to these is a little bit different because I want her to crumble some cookies on the top because you definitely want to have that nice crunch on the top. I need the other one too, please. Thank you. So she has here, these are a few left that she's going to crumble on the top. Put all your stuff away, good girl. Let's take this away. So Sophia's just going to crumble some cookies on the top. We're using the Walkers. We're using actually the ginger lemon cookies for this cheesecake. We have the crust on the bottom, the cranberry in the middle, the cheesecake on the top, and then we have the cookies on there. Alright, Jeremiah, I'll take a clean bowl, please. Thank you. Alright, so we have here our veal that we're just cooking, and we're going to add our spices to it. Now, I like to use the traditional shepherd's pie spices that I think they are, and that's like thyme, rosemary, marjoram, I don't even know, but that's the ones that I use. And we're going to go with some salt and pepper once Jeremiah gets a chance to get it from me. Can I have salt and pepper, please? Thank you. Thanks. Alright, and in here is just our spices from our garden that we just kind of took and ground up in our coffee maker. Oh, nice. Very good. Now let Jeremiah show them what this looks like, please. Jeremiah, go ahead and show them while you wash up. Thank you. So we've got our salt and pepper here. Thank you, Jeremiah. And we're going to, that's okay, let me go. Jeremiah's going to show you up high too, up high. He's going to show you that's what the cheesecakes look like before they go into the oven. And he's going to do a water bath on that also. But first, before you do the water bath on these, you have to cover them with foil around the edges. Jeremiah, you're going to cover those with foil. Alright, so I'm just going to cook the meat.
Mommy, cut them in dices?
You're going to do dices, yeah. She's going to do dices. She's great at dicing. And actually, these we saved because I had a really good idea for recycling. You know what we can use these for?
Gardening.
We can use them for gardening, but you can use them for when you're painting, or when she has her friends come over and do decorate cookies for Christmas. We can give them each their own little sprinkles in one and the other. I like to give them little cupcake
Or we
containers
could put
sprinkles.
plants in there.
Or you could put plants in them. You could put your jewelry in them. These are very versatile. So we're going to save those because we have a lot of junk drawers to use that. You're so funny. You're funny. Alright, so we're still cooking our veal, and it's not taking very long at all. As you can see, it's been in here maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And it's
Oh, I
almost all
smell that
cooked.
veal.
My kids love veal. They like it, I think, way better than beef, right? The foil has to come up. Yep, get a piece of foil. I'll show you how to do it. So you want to cover this because this water can penetrate through, and then you'll have water in your cheesecake, and you don't want that. That's not good. You don't want a watery cheesecake. You want a nice, fluffy cheesecake that you can enjoy. You don't even necessarily need a fork for it. You just need to be able to put it in there. Okay, so you're going to cover the cheesecake like this. You turn it off.
I
Just
want
push
me to
off.
add it into there.
And you're going to cover the cheesecake like that and put it in the pan.
Well,
Jeremiah,
let me
can you
put the
show
mushrooms in
No,
the
honey,
pan.
thank you.
What's the bowl? Is this bowl for the mushrooms?
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to put the onions in now. And I'm going to cook that onion with the veal, and that has like a little bit of veal juice in there. It's going to be delicious. Now, I don't know if you make shepherd's pie at home or any kind of version of it, but my family really likes it, and my in-laws make it all of the time. And they usually do it in like our version of a lasagna pan. So it's like the Irish version of lasagna without the noodles. So what we have is just the meat layered and the mashed potatoes on the top. And we're going to show you what we're going to do with ours using the Walkers brand today. Alright, so this is smelling really good, guys. I wish you could smell this. Yeah, it's smelling good, right? And what we're going to do for this today is we're going to put them in little individual containers because we like to have our own little version of shepherd's pie for ourselves, right? You like these little bowls? Yeah. And we're going to just keep cooking our meat here. So when Jeremiah was looking a little bit more about Walkers, and we found out a couple little things about them that I'd like to share with you. It's still family owned 100 years later. Is that incredible? They received the Queen's Award for export 3 times, which is a high achievement that not many companies gain. And they're the largest exporters of products. And that's food products. That's incredible, right? That's amazing. And you know, growing up and recognizing the packaging and everything like that, you pretty much know that they're committed to integrity and excellence. That's why when they decided to do a gluten-free version, I was more than happy to discuss options with them because you don't want to put your name on something that's not good. And I'm sure Walkers wouldn't do that. And you definitely know with all of the controversy that's going on now with the gluten-free industry, you definitely don't want to be testing it every once in a while or every so often. So testing each batch is really super important, especially to people like me who don't want to get sick. So we're going to keep it that way. And we're going to continue to use brands like Walkers that are, you know, high in industry, committed to excellence and integrity with something with their name on it. All right, so for those of you who missed last week, we had Jen on the show, the gluten and grain-free gourmet. Go to her website and order some cookies. They were so delicious. And we're going to be down in Florida in 2 weeks at the gluten-free, allergy-free wellness event. We're going to be speaking there, and we're going to share a really incredible story with you, so don't miss that. All right, so Sophia's going to put the mushrooms in. Just keep cutting, honey. It's okay. Just keep cutting. Jeremiah, you're going to get me a pan to put, I'll take the small square pan that goes in the toaster and put those on. We're just adding our mushrooms. And in order to get the consistency that we, oh, sorry, honey. Here's your bowl back. To get that little gravy that we want, we're going to actually add a little bit of flour once we're ready. I hope we're good on time. How are we doing? Good? Because we have more work to do. Going to add about a teaspoon of flour. And I'm going to add some tomato paste. Jeremiah, would you give me the tomato paste, please? I think it's in the fridge. The tomato paste, and then we're going to add something a little bit out of the ordinary, and if you don't have it at home, it's totally fine, because I think in European countries they would use like an HP sauce to make this gravy, which my in-laws used to do all the time, but being gluten-free, you have to just kind of do a variety. So we're using a dry cola. If you don't have this at home,
It's so good.
it's totally okay. Okay. It's totally okay if you don't have it at home. You can use like a gravy master or something like that, just to make that gravy a little bit brown. All right, we're just going to use about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Did I say a tablespoon of tomato paste? I did. It sounded like a tongue twister. I don't know what happened. We're going to add a little bit more of our spices. Sophia, that's good, honey. Chop up the mushrooms faster, not like that, please. Just put it down and chop them, because we need them now. So we have our mushrooms. We have about 4 to 6 mushrooms in here, as soon as Sophia's done. We have 1 small onion, and we're just going to kind of get this going. We want to make a little bit of juice in there, because we want a little bit of gravy. The gravy makes it really yummy. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that cola. This is a gluten-free cola that we're using. Now we know that Scotland is famous for their whiskey, and what else is it? But in our house it's more about soccer, salmon. In our house it's more about soccer, so my son knows the soccer teams and the players. Who did you say was the team, the good team in Scotland?
Celtic.
The Scotland team? And who's the player? So if you guys know, who's the player?
The Scottish player?
Yeah.
Stephen Mason.
Say it louder, I can't hear you.
Stephen Mason.
Stephen Naismith. If you guys know Stephen Naismith, I guess
For
he plays.
Everton.
Oh, he plays for Everton. Okay. He's a Scottish boy playing for Everton. All right, so we have our meat cooking here, and as you can see, it's getting really, really super nice. It's amazing. It smells so delicious. So for those of you joining us on Periscope and live stream, thanks for joining today. ABC Gluten Free. We're making shepherd's pie with Walkers Shortbread. We have a cheesecake in the oven. It's going to be delicious. And we also have another item for you. That's our appetizer. So don't go anywhere because we're almost there. All right, Sophia, that's enough. Put it away now. Yeah, you can put it away now. All right, so this is getting really lovely. I smell it. You guys see the steam coming up? Am I being blocked by the steam? This is amazing. It smells so good. Now comes the fun part. We're going to fill the containers. Sophia, put that away, please. I say to her, she says to him, and that's how it goes.
I gotta help
Sophia,
Mommy.
put it away, please. Just take it away, honey. Jeremiah, take that away, please. All right, so we want to clean off our spot. And what we're going to do is we have our meat cooking really nice here. Hi, guys. Welcome to live. We need good, we need clean, we need pure, and we need it to be certified. And this is all of that. This meets all of those requirements. And it's certified by the celiac community in the UK. Actually, I'll show you the little symbol. This little symbol right here. And on the back, you could read the back. It says certified by celiac UK. So if you guys are in US or Europe, you can get these cookies. They're on Amazon. They're pretty much going to be in every grocery store you can picture. And hopefully, if I am getting my hopes up, we'll see these shortbread cookies in all of the Starbucks in US and Europe. And that's just my hope and desire, because they do have little sample size, individual portion size of 2 cookies in a pack. And since we see Walkers Shortbread in the Starbucks around anyway, it would just be a great transformation, wouldn't it, guys? Wouldn't you love to see Walkers Shortbread in the Starbucks? And I'm going to do a contest right now, so the first person who knows and puts it up on Periscope or live stream, I'm going to give you a box of cookies. The name of the man who started the company, his first and last name. If you put that up on Periscope or live stream, I'm going to send you a box of cookies, and I'm going to ship it to you. You're just going to have to Facebook me and give me your address. Alright, so we are cooking right here, and Jeremiah's going to keep an eye on that to see if anybody knows the name of the man who started the company. We're going to send you a box of cookies. That's our contest for today with Walkers. Alright, so we have our shepherd's pie in our crock. Sophia mixed up this ingredient so great, and we're going to just put it on the top. You want to do it? Let me do the first one. I'll show you. And we're going to kind of press it down because we like the potatoes. We love the potatoes. We're going to put the potatoes on the top. Go ahead, Sophia. And then we're just going to cover it with some Irish cheddar. Oh, this is going to be delicious. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Shortbread cookies in my potatoes. Are you crazy? This is delicious. Trust me, my kids loved it. And they're very particular. And they're very spoiled because they get to eat so many different things. So they loved it, and they said, this is what to do. And we tested and tested and tested a lot of recipes this week, and this is what we came up with for you. So we hope you enjoy it. Go get your napkins because you're going to be drooling. Sophia's finishing up the shepherd's pie. I'm going to get started on our third item, which is our appetizer, because we have entree, we have dessert. Now we need an appetizer. We're going to be doing these amazing meatballs. They're just little finger foods. They're great for tailgating, for football, for real football, for hurley, for whatever it is that you're watching and playing on the weekends. And we're going to show you that right now. Jeremiah, could you bring me some of those ingredients over there? The first thing I'm going to do is get started cooking. And this is fine because it's similar ingredients. I'm going to be using ground pork today. Now you can use whatever meat you like. I have a pound of ground pork. And Jeremiah, I just need a spatula. Look at how she's doing with this. This is amazing. Look at these little mini shepherd's pies. They're beautiful, right? Let me just hold one up because this is really heavy. Alright, so look at that. There's our shepherd pie crocks. We have our crust on the top with our potatoes and our Walker's Shortbread cookies, the original brand. And then we have our Dublin or cheddar cheese on top. This is going to be amazing. Alright, let's clean this up. Jeremiah can get these in the oven, and we're going to get started on the meatballs. Actually, what did you do that for? I got to take the meat and got to put it in here, so good thing.
Oh, can I do that?
Jeremiah, take this. No, I got it. Never mind.
Anybody guessing?
Alright, so does anybody know who started the company and his name? If you're on Periscope or live stream, we're going to give you a prize. We're going to send you a box of cookies. Now, parting with these is very sorrowful, so I'm really hating it, but I'm going to have to call Emily and ask her to ship you a box. Alright, so what we have in here, actually, I'm going to talk about it. Can you please wait? Jeremiah's going to put these on the oven on low broil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Jeremiah, go ahead and do that in the little toaster oven, please. Thank you. Alright, so what we have here is a pound of ground pork. We have a whole box of the original shortbread cookies that we ground up. That's going to be our breadcrumbs. And what we're adding to it may surprise you a little bit, but don't be too surprised, because we like to do things like that. We're going to be adding a cranberry jalapeno jam. We made this quite a while ago, thank you honey, when we went and picked cranberries, and all I did was cook the cranberries down with jalapenos and a little bit of juice. You can use apple juice, cranberry juice, you could use a little bit of sugar, a little bit of water. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that into here. And, what did you say? 5 to 6 minutes is fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of our goat cheese with our cranberry on it. This is going to be yummy. This is Sophia's favorite, right, baby girl? We're going to add about a tablespoon of that. Okay, hold on. Alright, so we have a tablespoon of this. And we're going to start mixing that up. No, don't put that in there. We're going to mix that up. Notice that we're not putting any eggs. We're not putting any butter. We're just getting it ready, and we're going to roll it into little balls. I'm going to get rid of my rings for now.
There we are.
And we're adding the Walker's Shortbread cookie instead of breadcrumbs. Now, it has that buttery flavor. It has a little bit of sweetness. and it has the little bit of crunch that we need and the bread that we need to absorb all that good ingredients. You want to use your hands, you can.
Yes.
But you gotta push up your sleeves and you gotta get ready. Alright, this is her favorite part. And if you have kids at home and you want to cook with them in the kitchen, let them do all the dirty work, and then you would just have to actually put it on the grill or cook it. So she's going to actually get started on that. Jeremiah, you're going to take that stuff away. I'll just keep this. We might be using some of the barbecue sauce later for our sauce.
Hands are the best tools.
Hands are the best tools in the kitchen, you're right. We're going to add a little bit of salt. Oops, sorry, honey.
That's okay.
We're going to add a little bit of pepper. And this girl's going with these cranberry meatballs, right? These are going to be amazing. And you guys, you can do so many different varieties. This is like a Swedish meatball. This is just our version, our Walkers version, because we're actually going to, there we go, we're on now. We're actually going to cook them right into here, and I don't even have to clean it out because it's just little flavors. All right, so she's doing a good job. Look at how beautiful these are. Jeremiah, could you get me the small scoop? I think the small scoop. I got it over here. Can you put the shepherd's pie in the oven, please, now? Put that small one, the big one in there. All right, so we have to get our shepherd's pie in the oven. We have a big one that we want to share with you. We should have had that in the oven actually about a few minutes ago, but we have the oven on 350 because we have the cheesecakes baking with our shortbread cookies actually on the bottom. We're using the ginger lemon ones, and those are the crust and a little bit of crumble on the top. We have our cheesecakes in there. We have our shepherd's pie in the oven. We're going to broil that. We have the shortbread original cookies on the top for our crust with the potatoes, the cheese on the top. It's going to be amazing. And now Sophia's doing our meatballs. Okay, you are released. Thank you. You are released. Well, we're going to do these though. Okay, I'm going to do small ones. No, small ones.
Okay,
Small ones like this.
Like this.
All right, so we're doing a small meatball, and we're going to put it right here. Okay, we're going to put it right here. We're going to actually cook the meatballs real quick.
Take one.
We're going to just do a couple.
Like my handmade meatball
Yes,
right there.
her handmade meatball is beautiful. Look at, and mine is all sloppy and messy, but that's okay. We just need a few to cook, honey. Just put a few in there. Okay, that's good for now. We'll do the rest later.
I want to
Please.
mix this.
Go ahead and clean up. All right, so she's going to actually get cleaned up, and I'm going to cook these meatballs because we definitely want to get you and show you what we made for you today. We have to get these meatballs cooked. All right, so we have it on 400. We're going to brown them. We have a little bit of oil in there already from the previous thing that we cooked, the shepherd's pie. So we're going to let those sit for a minute. What I'm going to do is clean up our spot. Jeremiah, help clean up the spot. We're going to get this cleaned up because we have to eat. Jeremiah, that shepherd's pie needs to go in and be on higher. All right, let me get this ready. Sophia, you can actually mix a little bit of this, and this while Mommy's in the back. I'll be right back. She's going to mix this together.
I need
Get yourself a bowl. Get down and get a bowl.
Mom, you want me to pour the whole thing in orange juice?
No, just do half of it for now, honey, okay?
What about the jelly?
Just do a tablespoon.
Is that a big spoon?
Yeah, a big one. Okay. Is that there? No. Oh, almost, yeah. Then that comes out, you put those back in and take that other one out. Alright, so I just wanted to check on our shepherd's pie. Sophia's making a little bit of our sauce for our cranberry meatballs. We have the Walkers Shortbread cookies in there for our breadcrumbs instead of a regular breadcrumb. So we're doing a sweet and spicy meatball. These are great for the holidays. These are also great for if you're watching football on TV. They're also, you could make a whole bunch up ahead of time. You can use one package of Walkers Shortbread cookies. That's enough, honey. We don't need that much stuff. I'm just browning the meatballs here. And I'm loving this because this West Bend cooks pretty quickly. Go ahead, Jeremiah, go check that. And you can bring it up here so they're nice and brown on top. Alright, so we're going to put this away because Sophia is making us a nice little gravy for here. I'll take that now, honey.
Can you pour it in there?
Hold on, let me me check it. We want to do a little pinky and see how. Is it sweet and spicy? That's what we want.
Yeah.
It's good, right? Alright, so that was just a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of cranberry. You can use the canned cranberry too, but the real cranberry.
Can I pour it?
And then, okay, go ahead. You want to pour it? She's going to pour it in slowly. You should keep your hand outside of the pot. That's good. That's good. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just kind of shake it around here. I'm going to put the meatballs in there so they get cooked with that little juice. It's going to be yummy. Jermaine, I'll take the top, please, real quick. We're going to put the top on just for like 2 minutes, and we're going to get plating our food. We're almost ready to eat. Are you excited? Thank you. We're going to get started on plating. You guys ready? Jeremiah, you want to bring up the cheesecakes? We have some in the fridge and some there. Let me just wash my hands. Alright, so in order to show you everything, you're going to have to check our Facebook page, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff because we'll post the pictures of all of the food that we made today. You can also find the recipes at walkershortbread.com. I'm pretty sure they'll have them up as soon as they can. Get all the rest of them out too. Alright, so plates, Sophia, you're in charge of plates. So we hope you BYON, guys, because we brought our own napkins. Because we need it today. Look, we have one tartan napkin. It's all we could find today, but I know we have more someplace. We have our napkins ready. We have our forks and our spoons. Okay, you can just leave them here. Because we're going to need both today. Let me clean this off, honey. Thank you. Alright, you want to give everybody a napkin?
Mommy, you get the tart napkin.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so the cheesecakes actually, I'm going to show you the different kind. This one has the cookie on the bottom, and this one was used with the water bath, okay? These were not used with the water bath. They have the cookie on the bottom, and these have the cranberry. And this also was not the water bath, cookie on the bottom, and no cranberry. So we did 3 different kinds. Jeremiah, would you get the powdered sugar, please? So what we're going to do is add a little bit of powdered sugar. We have that little cranberry relish if we want to put some on the side. You don't have to if you don't want to. And if you don't like cranberry, obviously you can substitute with whatever you do like. And we want to offer you the substitutions for the cheesecake. You can just use cream cheese or you can just use ricotta cheese. You don't have to use both. Go ahead, do a little. All right, I'm going to check our meatballs. They're looking good. Okay, goody, goody. It smells so good. Now they're actually falling apart a little bit, which is really normal, but you can actually refrigerate them a little bit if you want to. Plus we have it on real high. What? Yeah, put that up there, and Sophia can do powdered sugar on that. And then you can bring me up the shepherd's pie. So what I'm going to do is plate for everybody. We're going to get the shepherd's pie. And Sophia has, excuse me, honey. This is our cheesecake that I was telling you about. Now these are really simple containers. They have a release on the side. And you can just put it on a plate, whatever plate you want to serve it on. And you can just pull off the edges. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Can you guys see that? This just comes right off. And what you can see is that shortbread crust on our cheesecake. That's awesome. Alright, I'm going to just try to tear the rest around. Ooh, look at that. That looks good, Jeremiah.
You got the big one?
No, don't take out the big one. Alright, so we did do a family style shepherd's pie, but we have our individuals here that I'm going to just show you. Look at this. Look at that. Look at those. Delicious. Alright, so we're going to get plating. So I lost my plate to cheesecake, but that's quite alright. We'll leave that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody a meatball.
Can I just have this?
Yes, honey, you can just have that.
Okay.
And a shepherd's pie. And I guess Sophia's going to be the first one to eat. You want to try the meatball first? I'm going to make gluten-free grandma's plate because she helps us clean up. She helps us get ready. She helps us do everything. And we have to make sure we take good care of her. Alright, so this is your little, of course you don't have to plate it like this, but we have our little appetizer here. Our Walkers Shortbread meatball. We actually have our Walkers Shortbread cookie in the crust with the potatoes and the cheese on top with our version of our shepherd's pie. How are you doing? How's the meatball? He didn't say anything. Let's give this to gluten-free grandma. Jeremiah, would you do that? Oh, we also have our cranberry rosmarino spritzers, which is a delicious addition to your holidays or just to your meal. And this is just seltzer, a little rosemary wiped around the edges, so if you just take it, and a little bit of cranberry excess that we put in.
Makeup by Artistry. Wardrobe by Tula the Boutique. Follow us on livestream, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at ABC Gluten Free. ABC Gluten Free is a production of American Bots. Ciao.